All right, Gold member. Don't play the laughing boy. There are only two things I can't stand in this world. People who are intolerant of other people's cultures and the Dutch.
The Netherlands have won Group A and will be the opponent for the US in the round of 16. In the last 18 months, they haven't lost a game. Their last loss is in the round of 16 match in the Euros against the Czech Republic. And although they've been through a carousel of managers over the last few years, they have finally found their man in Louis van Gaal, the former Manchester United man, and they haven't really taken over his identity just yet, but they're getting there, and that's one of the reasons why they won Group A. So here we are, a team that isn't really the Netherlands of the past, hasn't really taken on the identity of their manager, and at the same time is unbeaten in their last 18. They have one of the world's best center backs in Virgil van Dijk, one of the best upcoming players in Cody Gakpo, and probably the breakout star of the tournament as well. So this is not going to be easy. We need to respect this opponent, but they are vulnerable and they are beatable for the US in this round of 16 matchup. And today we're going to talk about how that is going to happen. At the end of the day, this is not a juggernaut. This is not a team like Brazil or France. They have their strengths and weaknesses. This team is human, and this is really a perfect test for the US to see how far US soccer has come. It is a tier 1 team, but not at the elite level like some of the others that are still there in the World Cup. I've watched back all of their group stage matches and some of their UEFA Nations League matches, and I've compiled the scouting report to see how the US can beat the Netherlands in this matchup. What is up, everyone? My name is Jake, and this is It's Called Soccer. I'm a UEFA C licensed coach, and I love to break down the tactics, especially as it relates to the US men's national team, but everywhere in the world of soccer. You guys have crushed it from the subscribers. I was looking for 6,500 by the end of the World Cup. We're there now, so new goal, 7,000 subscribers by the end of the World Cup. I need 400 of you to just hit that link down below. Let's get started to see how the US is going to beat the Netherlands in this match. This Dutch team set up in a 3-5-2, 3-4-1-2 if you want to get technical, and they look to use the Barcelona man Frenkie de Jong to progress the ball through the middle. Now, Memphis Depay, also a Barcelona man, has been newly fit. He's coming back into fitness. And Cody Gakpo, the young starlet from PSV Eindhoven, has scored in all 3 of their group stage matches. While they did qualify first in their group and they are undefeated on 7 points, the stats tell a little bit different of a story because against Senegal in their first match, which they won 2-0, they lost the expected goals battle, and Senegal was really unlucky to not get more goals there, and the Netherlands team needed 2 late game winners, 2 late game heroics to get past Senegal. Then in their draw against Ecuador in that middle game, they were not good. They had 0.1 expected goals and got it from Cody Gakpo, but Ecuador should have scored 2 or more goals in this match, and they really stretched the Netherlands defense. They kept the offense quiet as well, and we're going to take that as the blueprint for what the US can do. The last match for the Netherlands in the group stage was a cruising 2-0 win over the host Qatar. I'm not going to take too much stock in this because Qatar was already eliminated from the tournament when the Netherlands played them, so the Netherlands haven't really gotten out of that second or third gear for them as a team, and while they are capable of being top tier, they're not quite hitting on all those cylinders yet, so this is a vulnerable team to get taken out in this round of 16. On the other side of the matchup in Group B, the US came in second place on 5 points with draws against Wales and England and beat Iran 1-0 in their last match to advance to the knockout rounds. They've given up 1 goal in all 3 games and 0 from open play, so that defense is locked down solid. Now, just pretend for a moment that you don't know anything about either of these 2 teams. You don't know about their histories, you don't know about the ages of the players or anything else. Just look at the talent that is on the team. On one side is players from the Dutch league. Their goalie is SC Heerenveen, PSV Eindhoven. Then they have Barcelona, Inter Milan, Liverpool, Manchester City, and a lot of Ajax players. Then on the other side, you have Arsenal, AC Milan, Fulham, Celtic, Leeds, Juventus, Chelsea, all of these players. This looks like a pretty even matchup, all things told, and these are the starting 11 players expected from both teams. Again, I want you guys to understand this, that this is a team that is capable of being elite, but in this round of 16 matchup for the US, this is one of the winnable games that we can advance into that quarterfinal with. The Dutch team likes to progress the ball in 2 different ways. The first is to make line-breaking passes through their center backs. They do have center backs that can make those line-breaking passes. Nathan Ake from Manchester City, Virgil van Dijk from Liverpool, and we'll likely see Timber from Ajax. Now the other way is to get the ball to Frankie de Jong, who will drop deeper into the midfield and just dribble. He's kind of the Yunus Musa of this Dutch team, but better. And they really rely on him. De Jong at this World Cup has made the most line-breaking passes. But if we break down the goal that Cody Gakpo scored against Ecuador, it was a goal that came from Nathan Ake's line-breaking pass into the central midfield, and it worked from there. The other thing to note about this Dutch team is that whether it's Dumfries on the right or Daley Blind on the left as wingbacks, they love to bomb forward, and that is going to create spaces that the US can take advantage of because there will be tons of space left between the wingbacks and that center back that is trying to take that space. So when we think about Christian Pulisic and Anthony Robinson on the left, or Serginho Dest, Yunus Musa, and Timothy Weah on the right, that makes me excited. That puts a smile on my face because that is going to leave a lot of space to be taken advantage of. Especially on that left side for the Dutch team, right side for the US, Daley Blind is good still, but he can be left in the dust by fast technical players. Does that remind you of anyone on this US team? I see this as being one of the areas where the US can have a lot of success, especially in transition moments in those zones between the wingbacks and the center backs. When the Netherlands is defending the ball and the other team has possession, they will try to deny the first pass into the midfield, which is fine for us as long as our center backs can hit directional switches to our wide players. You can see here how deep the Netherlands will go, including making their center backs track into the midfield to block out that middle of the pitch. The goal that they did give up against Ecuador was when Ecuador pushed up high and they were able to take advantage of a turnover. Now this hasn't been something that the US has really done a ton in this World Cup so far, but you know we have the counter-pressing in us. So if Ecuador can make that happen, then the US can absolutely do that as well. But it's a bit worrying that so far in this tournament, we haven't really taken advantage of our transition or counter-attacking moments. So we need to be really deadly and concise with our movements there, and that will give us an advantage over the Dutch. Pulisic and Weah, and potentially Aronson if he starts, they need to be decisive with their actions to get those goals. The last thing to note about this Netherlands team is that they are not afraid to crash the box. They are not afraid to have 3, 4, 5 players crashing the net when the wingbacks get across it. We need to be very conscious with our center backs and our defensive line that this is going to happen, and we need to track back those players that are crashing the box for the Dutch team. In the build-up for the Dutch with Frankie de Jong making those line-breaking passes, I think I'm going to put our midfield up against anyone, and Tyler Adams, Weston McKennie, and Yunus Musa can all stop Frankie de Jong, and he doesn't have a ton of help in that midfield area. I can actually see us using that 4-4-2 again that works so well against England and Iran, mostly because it's easy for us to clog the center of the pitch and take space with that formation. It also gives us a foundation to then use our wide players and attack those spaces that will be left vulnerable by the Dutch team. This game to me is screaming a 1-1 draw that goes into extra time, and if not, it is going to be a very close game from both sides. If we can improve our goal scoring rate, I really think this is a winnable game for the US. I want to just caution us, we probably shouldn't expect to win, but we should expect to be very competitive and make this a game. We can make this a game. We can win this match. What's also exciting for this one is that Yunus Musa and Anthony Robinson were able to play one of the nations that they were eligible for when we played against England. And in this matchup, Serginho Dest is going to get to play against the other nation that he was eligible for. He has been so good in this tournament so far, and I doubt he needs any more motivation. It is the World Cup and anything can happen. I mean, absolutely anything can happen. So everyone, thank you so much for watching. We'll be back with a full preview, me and Tom, tomorrow. Thank you so much for watching. It's called Soccer. I'll see you next time. Peace.